At this time, we'll call to order the regular City Council meeting for May 23rd, 2022. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City Clerk Deaton, let the roll call show all council members are present this evening. And we'll move on to the approval of City Council minutes, May 9th, 2022. Councilmember Kibble.
I'll move the minutes.
I'll second.
Discussion.
Councilmember Kennedy has something to add. Go ahead.
So on page 4, Lisa, probably about 2/3 of the way down where we talk about the estimated cost for replacing the HVAC units in the historic village, we have it listed as $180,000. That should read $80,000 to $100,000. That's all I had.
I'll move the minutes as amended. I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Move on to the approval of tonight's agenda. Councilmember Kennedy.
I'll move the agenda.
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Tonight's consent agenda includes resignation of DDA board member Jean Carroll, Carl and Joanne's Christmas in July fundraiser 2022, Carl and Joanne's Christmas Corner fundraiser 2022, and Carl and Joanne's South Lyon Eve fundraiser 2022. Councilmember Kurtzwell.
Move the consent agenda as presented by the mayor.
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. We do have a short proclamation tonight for National Gun Violence Awareness Day. This proclamation declares that the first Friday in June to be National Gun Violence Awareness Day in the city of South Lyon, Michigan, to honor and remember all victims and survivors of gun violence, and to declare that we as a country must do more to reduce gun violence. Whereas every day 100+ Americans are killed by gun violence, and on average there are nearly 13,000 gun homicides each year. Whereas Americans are 25 times more likely to be killed with guns than people in other high-income countries. And whereas protecting safety in the communities they serve is mayor's highest responsibility, whereas support for the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens goes hand in hand with keeping guns away from people with dangerous histories, whereas mayors and law enforcement officers know their communities best, are most familiar with local criminal activity and how to address it, and are best positioned to understand how to keep their citizens safe. Whereas by wearing orange on June 3rd, 2022, Americans will raise awareness about gun violence and honor the lives of gun violence victims and survivors. And now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Daniel L. Pelchat, Mayor, City of South Lyon, County of Oakland, State of Michigan, do hereby proclaim Friday, June 3rd, 2022 to be National Gun Violence Awareness Day in the city of South Lyon. I encourage all citizens to support their local community's efforts to prevent the tragic events of gun violence and to honor and value human lives. Thank you. With that, we will open up the floor for public comment. Please remember to state your name and address, and remember that we have a 2-minute time limit.
My name is Judy Keeling, 62180 Arlington Circle, South Lyon, Michigan. I'll keep this as quick as I can. I'm interested in the 811. What makes the ordinance or building an 800 versus an 811? So that's an ongoing interest that I'm asking you to research. My other thing is, I've been kind of overseeing the Veterans Memorial Garden, and there was a lot of money put into this, and it's really gone to weed. I know you want to do a memorial for the first responders, and I'm always for that, but we have to take care of our Veterans Memorial Garden. The bushes, there's these little boxwood bushes, and there's this weed, a morning glory, that's just choking them out, and it's a mess. I've worked about 5 hours in the last week, and I just can't get rid of this. And a landscaper really needs to be, somebody that needs to head a committee, and a landscaper is really needed. Thank you.
Thank you. Ryan Lair, 716 Grand Court. Good evening, Council. Today we had a wonderful victory today, as in the words of Carl. We got all the flags up downtown for the Memorial Day Parade. I want to thank Larry Ledbetter and Dana and Craig Johnson and myself for getting those up. We do have 20 flags on order. Hopefully we'll have them before the parade on Monday. But it was a beautiful day, and we got out there, and I pushed the cart and handed out the flags, and we got them up. So let's knock this parade out on Monday and really salute our veterans, because we owe them a debt of gratitude, especially with everything going on and overseas and with Russia and all of that going on. We need to thank our personnel that have given their lives for our country, and I was glad that we could make the downtown look beautiful and spruce it up. So that's all I have tonight. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll go next. I'm Teresa Renault. I'm from Commerce, not here, but I am part of Senator Runsted's team, and I'm here just to do a quick introduction to honor you guys as elected officials and the citizens here that are joining you this evening. So if there's anything that you need from us, let us know. I'll stick around after, too.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, we'll close the floor for public comment and move on to the discussion of downtown.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. First off, I wanted to thank Gene Carroll for his years of service to the DDA Board. He had to step away due to, personal obligations, so just want to publicly thank him for his time spent on the DDA Board. He was, an architect, which is something that is very valuable to our organization. Moving on, we had flowers planted at the Pocket Park on Sunday, so that area is getting spruced up again. That's going to be looking good again this year. And then last week, Monday through Wednesday, I attended the National Main Street Conference in Richmond, Virginia. I'll be giving a brief presentation on some of the topics that I learned at the next City Council meeting, but I just wanted to, briefly talk about that. Overall, I found it to be hugely beneficial. Not only was I able to learn what other communities are doing, best practices in economic development, downtown development, but I was able to network with Main Street directors from all over the country. I talked with people from Montana, Florida, Virginia, obviously, as we were there, Arizona, California, so it was good. It was very good. Next, the flower baskets for downtown and Paul Baker Park will be delivered this week, probably Thursday or Friday, so we can expect those to be going up. The farmers market over the weekend was moderately successful due to the heavy rain Saturday morning, so we had a few people stick it out, but we're looking to keep the success going in the market. And then finally, the Planning Commission voted to deny preliminary site plan approval for the proposed development at 345 to 405 North Lafayette, which is just south of Pullum Windows. It was slated to be a mixed-use development on the fringe of downtown with 2,500 square feet of retail frontage and 34 one- and two-bedroom market-rate apartments. City staff spent months working with the developer to get the project to match as closely as possible what the master plan shows, given the conditions present at the site. There would have been about 70 people within walking distance of the core downtown, which would lift up all aspects of the downtown, including restaurants, bars, retail establishments, the farmers market, and other service providers that call our downtown home. Additionally, it would have helped ease some of the housing shortage in the area, particularly for those priced out of the housing market currently. I'm somewhat disappointed as this may be a missed opportunity for high-quality development in the downtown fringe. With that, that's the end of my report, and I'll answer any questions.
Thanks, Nate.
Yep.
Anyone got anything for Nate tonight? Councilmember Kennedy, go ahead.
So, is that a done deal, Nate, or are they going to go back and take a look at the plans? Did they offer suggestions, recommendations?
As of right now, I believe it's a done deal. I spoke with them after the meeting, and it kind of sounded like it was done, so.
Okay, thanks.
Councilmember Hanson, and I'll come to both of you next.
So what was the, can you give us a little bit of backstory on what the denial was? Because I was really kind of following this, excited about it, honestly. Was it that they didn't want to do a two-story kind of structure at for the storefronts, or like what, not enough parking spaces, or?
So they would have had to get a variance. So this was preliminary site plan approval. They were proposing 78 parking spaces, and in the ordinance, I believe they're required to have 93. But given the site, they felt like it would have been adequate parking for the number of people that were going to be living there. They were proposed to have a cafe on the first floor and have that hours be, closing around 3 p.m. So when people are at the cafe, the others would be, at work. So they're expecting there to be enough parking there. So yeah.
So no sort of compromise or anything of that nature that could be pursued?
I can reach out to them again and see if there's something else that we could do to try and make this happen, but it sounded like, this is their fourth or fifth iteration of drawings that they had brought to us, and we had worked with them to try and get it to fit on the site because there's a really high water table there, so there's stormwater retention issues, and so I'll take into consideration, or not into consideration, but we'll have to look at what the Planning Commission said and see if there's a way that we can work to make this happen still.
Even if it's affordable housing instead of just standard housing or something,
Yeah, I think they'll definitely want to do market rate housing, so that's rents anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000, depending on the unit, so.
Councilmember Criswell?
Who is Palouche Capital? Who are they? Who are the individuals behind this?
So the Parkside Apartments, it's Tom Paluja. He is the individual that was driving the project. So they've done those next to McCaddy Park. He's helping out with the Italian restaurant in the RCA building. He started the Lyon Grill a number of years ago. So that's the individual.
Okay, so that's him. Okay. You may be a little bit disappointed with the Planning Commission, but for the most part, I think they make good decisions for the community. And sometimes the wisdom in that decision isn't necessarily seen, at first glance, that it takes a little bit of time to distance yourself and see that maybe the decision probably was a pretty good one. That's a pretty thorough organization. They do a lot of their work. I think most of them, if not all of them, live in the community. And they have a pretty good eye for what fits in the community. So I would tend to stand with the decision of the Planning Commission. Personally, I'm not real crazy about apartments in the downtown area. I think that makes it way too transitory. I think that what you probably need is more of a downtown feel, and that is more of a commitment to the downtown. People who live in apartments aren't there for 10, 15 years. It's a transitory population. And I think to make a downtown work, you need more of a long-term commitment of the residents. So I didn't speak with anybody on the Planning Commission about this. I didn't speak to anybody in the city about it. But that is my personal opinion, is that you get a better commitment in your community, particularly when you're trying to develop your downtown, with more of a permanent type residence than you do a transitory. So I'm not disappointed with the decision by any means, and I don't understand why you didn't make those into condos. So anybody coming in would have to make far more of a commitment to the community in terms of real estate, buy a condo, than just passing and going in an apartment. So, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Dillick, did you have anything to add?
No.
Okay. Councilmember Kibble?
The one thing that I do know is that the decision was a denial, so it wasn't a tabling. So in the event that anything happens, it would start from scratch and move forward, so.
All right. Anyone else have anything for Nate tonight? Thanks, Nate. Great update.
Thank you.
Move on to the fire chief report.
Good evening. So as of today, we've ran 408 calls. Last Saturday, we assisted Lyon Township with a commercial fire. It was a roof fire that gripped down into a machine, and there were several departments there as well. Lyon Township, us, Brighton, Novi, Commerce, on top of my head. So it was a pretty big event. Knocked it out pretty quick. Inspector Mohan has issued one certificate of occupancy. He's had one event review and 10 annual inspections. We've got the burn building going now full speed. We've used it twice, last Tuesday and again yesterday. It's worked out great. It's a great training. Gives our firefighters a sense of real heat and smoke and lack of visibility, so that when they're in the real environment, it's not all new and have experience in it. So, this Tuesday at 501 McMunn, we're gonna go up to that house and we're gonna tear it up a little bit, work on breaching walls, roof ventilation, any kind of techniques to kick a hole in the wall and climb the wall up in a closet if you should get stuck and fall through a floor, things of that nature that'll, different techniques that'll help us out in fires. We've posted on all our social media outlets looking for firefighters. It's a long process once we get them, so the sooner we get them on board, the better. To get them through fire training and EMT schools, a year and a half, so the sooner we can get them, the better. So if you know anybody who's interested, push them our direction. And with the new schedule that appears to be approved with the night shift, we're looking at pushing around the schedule, so we'll have at least one firefighter on 24/7. That's kind of our goal. So, in the process, at nighttime, with one firefighter going to houses alone, talk to Chief Dover from the police, and they're going to respond with us on those calls so that we're not sending somebody to a house alone at nighttime. I think that's all I have. Unless you have any questions.
Great. Councilmember Kibble, go ahead.
I can imagine that the whole idea of doing live fires in that training room, it does change the dynamic, so you get a much better understanding of the threat that you're going to walk into. So I thought that was kind of cool. And secondly, is there any further information about the ladder? Is it in a queue?
The vendor said that supposedly it's still on schedule for late this fall. So
Okay.
he doesn't give us a date
The
yet.
amorphous
So, no.
late.
I'm meeting with him tomorrow morning to go over some of the things on the truck, so hopefully with a better idea at that point as far as delivery.
Thank you.
Councilmember Hanson, go ahead.
I just wanted to thank you for the social media updates, for letting our public know what you're doing to train our staff and make sure that they're prepared in case of a fire situation. So
Sure.
It's been great to follow and see on social media and be shared on social media. And it'll be interesting to see if this McMunn building training ends up on social media as well. So
I can almost guarantee it will. Yeah.
Anyone else have anything for Chief tonight? All right,
Well,
thanks,
thank you.
Chief.
Thank you.
Move on to the police chief report.
Thank you, Mr.
Chief
Mayor,
Sarah?
Council. A couple things for you. One of our officers, Officer Jonathan Sheeman, will be graduating tomorrow from the SHIELD Institute's Command Level 1 instruction. It's pretty intense leadership training. It's 2 days a month for 4 months with plenty of homework and projects in between. So someday soon he will be promoted to sergeant. When that time comes, he'll be ready. So we want to do what we can to prepare them, as far as getting their mindset ready for his leadership position at an early age. So I'll be attending his graduation ceremony tomorrow in Mason at 12:30 on his behalf. So congratulations to John. We had another Narcan save last week. We hit an individual, a 26-year-old male with four shots of Narcan, and he kind of came around and up, walking and talking like nothing ever happened, refused more medical, didn't even want to go to the hospital after that. So I think anywhere else besides the city, he probably would have been dead. And so having this Narcan with us for many years has really been, obviously in his case, very beneficial. Just to remind you, there are Lake Street Cruising coming up on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m., the first event of the season there. Monday, the Memorial Day Parade at 8 o'clock in the morning. We will have that event, and the officers will be out there, so we're looking forward to a good event. Hopefully the weather should hold off for us. As far as Judy, you mentioned about we have another meeting tomorrow regarding the First Responder Monument Fund. I think now we have close to $8,000 raised for that. We didn't get a whole lot actually done in the last meeting, but we have one tomorrow where we're trying to get some direction as far as the landscaping. We're trying to recruit some of the landscape companies in town, maybe assign them for like a 1 month. You do it this month, you do it this month. So we're trying to do things as inexpensive as possible. Hopefully some people will step up and kind of keep that, but maintain. But thank you, Judy, for the time you spent out there. We appreciate that. And as far as the National Gun Violence Awareness, we have several gun locks available. So if you want to come up and grab 1, 2, or 10, we can accommodate you. So we have plenty. So than that, folks, that's all I have for you this evening.
Thanks, Chief.
Yep.
Anyone got anything for Chief Sovic tonight? Councilmember Kibble, go ahead.
I thought that Monroe had put all the landscaping into the Veterans Memorial, and I thought that they made a commitment to perpetual care for that.
I agree. I think you're correct, and I don't know where that's going. So I think there were some phone calls that were supposed to be made between the last meeting we had 2 weeks ago and tomorrow. So we'll get some more details tomorrow from Bob during our meeting tomorrow morning.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Councilmember Hanson, go ahead.
So I wanted to bring, praise to the department as well as to the staff at our police department as far as how they handled some of the situations after Millennium Middle School has let out. There have been businesses that I've spoken with as well as other residents where once the kids let out from Millennium Middle School, they're going south to Bush's parking lot as well as the parking lot near Aubrey's, Dollar Tree and such, causing some mischief and whatnot. And I appreciated the quick response by the police force as well as their professionalism. So I wanted to thank you personally.
Yeah, that's always an issue when the weather starts getting warmer and they just start to congregate afterwards and they're getting excited because school's on the way out. So yeah, we make frequent passes through there and we stop in there. And some of the business even they institute rules where only so many people can be involved in Taco Bell and certain stores at certain times. So, but we do our best to get down there. If we're not on other calls, and we're down there just kind of patrolling and interacting with them and not being so much authoritative with them, but just kind of interacting with them and just saying, hey, So it's been a pretty good relationship with us with the kids so far.
Yeah, there have been some instances I even witnessed where the police officers would literally drive right up to the parents picking up the kids and have a conversation with the parents, which has been extremely professional and great to see. Great.
That sets a tone.
Anyone else with anything for Chief tonight? All right, thanks, Chief. At this time, we are going to open the floor for our public meeting in the hearing on the 2022-2023 budget. We will open the public hearing at 7:53 this evening. And with no one coming forward with any public comments, we will close the public meeting at 7:54. Unfinished business number 1 this evening, water and sewer tap fee resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's been brought to our attention in the past city budget and council meetings regarding the guidelines for use of tap-in fees for water and sewer revenues. The prior use of funds was established by an administrative policy adopted in April of 1989, whereby city council segregated 80% of the water and sewer tap-in fees with a breakdown of 56.25% to sewer capital improvement and 43.75% to water capital improvement. We are currently using those funds for the improvements in the water and sewer system. With the assistance of our attorneys, we have prepared the proposed policy language for the use of future water and sewer tap-in fees. The prior funds and future funds will be deposited into one single water and sewer account. It would then allow the use of those combined funds for improvements to either the water or sewer system. Items we've attached tonight for your council meeting is copy of the minutes from the April 24th, 1989 City Council meeting whereby the administrative policy was established, and copy of the February 28th, 2022 City Council meeting minutes and proposed resolution to amend administrative policy regarding water and sewer tap fees on the use of funds within the Water and Sewer Capital Improvement Fund. Possible course of action is to approve or not approve the proposed resolution to amend administrative policy regarding water, sewer, and tap fees. Myself, the city attorney, and Patricia Turner are here tonight to answer any questions you may have regarding this policy.
Thank you. Councilmember Dill, go ahead and get us started.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I heard you say it, but I didn't see it in here, and I probably just missed it, that the funds that are already in there will be pooled also. That was my question last time, too. Not just future ones?
That's correct, and that's item number 1 under therefore be resolved.
Let me see. Okay, the current one. Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Kurtzwell?
Yes, I'd like to move to approve the proposed resolution to amend administrative policy regarding water and sewer tap fees.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Kurtzwell, supported by Councilmember Dilg. Any further discussion?
Well,
Go
this
ahead,
makes the
Councilman.
most sense. I mean, put your eggs where you need them. So.
City Clerk Deaton, could you please lead us in a roll call vote?
Hanson,
Yes.
Kurzweil,
Yes.
Dill,
Yes.
Kibble,
Yes.
Moser,
Yes.
Kennedy,
Yes.
Eltap.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion passes. Unfinished business number 2 this evening, 2022-2023 budget approval.
All of you have received the proposed 2022-2023 budget document. At tonight's meeting, we held a public hearing for the budget. And after the public hearing, you will consider the approval of the millage rate resolution and also consider the approval of the 2022-23 budget resolution. We've attached the millage rate resolution and annual budget resolution and possible course of action under 2 separate motions, approve or not approve the millage rate resolution and budget resolution. We're here to answer any questions you have regarding the budget or any documents that were provided to you previously.
Councilmember Kennedy, go ahead.
I'd like to go ahead and make the motion to approve the millage rate resolution as documented in the package.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Kennedy, supported by Councilmember Mosier. Any further discussion?
Yes.
Councilmember Kibble, go ahead.
I'm kind of wondering what's the situation with the SRO and how it will be reflected in the budget?
Well, it's currently reflected as what we've proposed to the school system, which we presented to the city council. If any changes that would occur, whether it be higher or lower or whatever it may be, maybe we come back as a modified or...
Right, thank you.
All right. City Clerk Deaton, could you please lead us in a roll call vote?
Kennedy,
Yes.
Moser,
Yes.
Kibble,
Yes.
Dill,
Yes.
Kurzweil,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Eltap.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion passes. Councilmember Kennedy, go ahead.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the annual budget resolution as stated in the packet.
Councilmember Kibble, did you support?
Yes,
Thank you.
please.
So we have a motion by Councilmember Kennedy, supported by Councilmember Kibble, to approve the annual budget resolution. Do we have any further discussion? City Clerk Deaton, could you please lead us in a roll call vote?
Dill,
Yes.
Kurzweil,
Yes.
Kibble,
Yes.
Moser,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Kennedy,
Yes.
Eltap.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion passes. Great job by everyone on that.
That's for certain. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts that
Yes.
we're taking care of. That's terrific.
New business number 1 this evening, GASB 75 Actuarial Services Agreement.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. So tonight I am bringing our biannual contract to engage with the Howard Neihart Company to perform our GASB 75 actuarially, I can't say it either tonight,